Selamat siang Sobat Mitra Wacana. Kembali lagi dengan saya Alfi Ramadhani di podcast Mitra Wacana pada tanggal 23 Desember 2022. And today we have our guest and he is Ruben.
Ruben. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. By the way, Ruben, can you introduce yourself to the audience here? Maybe you can speak in Indonesia.
Introduction will be possible in Indonesia, I think.
Yeah.
Jadi nama
introduction
ya.
Indonesia.
Oke, ya. Nama saya Ruben, saya dari Belanda. Umur saya 28 tahun. Dan
same as mine.
Same? Ya. Oke. Dan sekarang saya tinggal di Maguwo Harjo, Yogyakarta. Ya, itu.
Yeah, okay. By the way, what's your birthday? Because you are 28, right?
28, yeah.
I think I'm older than you.
I'm the 1st of June.
Okay, I'm 27 February. So
you're older, yeah.
Okay, so today guys, we are talking about volunteer, which is Ruben work there or become the
board member.
Board member.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe after Ruben introduce himself, maybe Ruben you can tell us what is your current activities in Jogja or maybe in Netherlands.
Yeah,
so by the way, you are so busy, right?
Yeah, I'm quite busy at the moment. So I'm a board member of Think Volunteer. Think Volunteer is a Dutch NGO. It's registered in the Netherlands, and Think Volunteer is created by my friend Mitra and Zilla.
Two person, Mitra and Zilla.
Mitra Zilla, yeah, two person, yeah. And then Zilla, at some point, settled in the Netherlands, and then Mitra asked me to take over Zilla's job within the local NGO, or the Dutch NGO, sorry. And with Think Volunteer, we basically have two main projects. One project is gathering money for local NGOs here in Indonesia. We provide like fundraising, so we have monthly donators. Yeah, monthly donators who donate for the children and animals here in Indonesia. So for the children, we send the money to the local project so that the children can go to school. And for the animals, we send the money to the projects who are working with animals and to take care of them. So that's the first main project within Think Volunteer. And the second one is, it's already in the name of the NGO, Think Volunteer. We want to provide courses to students or travelers or volunteers who want to come to Indonesia, who want to work with vulnerable target groups, for example, Mitra Wacana or with children. And if people want to do volunteer work, we want to provide them courses about the Indonesian culture, about social work, about trauma, about ethics, about dilemma, all necessary things to be as good as possible, the best volunteer as possible. We want to stimulate them to create a positive and sustainable impact. So that's the second part.
Okay, so there are two main projects.
Yeah.
By the way, that was so good. I mean, like what you guys done is so good, because I also have like volunteer. The name is Tengok Desaku in Indonesia. Visit my village. It's about to become volunteer in the village and living there in about a week, maybe 5 until 7 days and something. That is for the Indonesian.
Local people.
People. By the way, why do you guys want to do that?
Yeah,
because there must be background behind it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You look like, you really love doing volunteer and social project. Why?
Yeah, because first of all, I studied social work myself in the Netherlands.
Okay.
I have my bachelor in social work, and myself, I did an internship also in Indonesia for my study back then. I did a half year in Sumatra, in West Sumatra, and a half year in Yogyakarta. The first half year was with Sumatra Volunteer is the name of the NGO, and the second half year was the Dream House, Yayasan Rumah Impian.
In Indonesia, in Jogja.
In Jogja, yeah. And then, but also during that time, I did a lot of research with my team from Think Volunteer about volunteering. How can you be the best volunteer? Because research showed us that a lot of people have good intentions come to Indonesia to help the children, the animals, or whatever, but sometimes not the proper knowledge to help them in the right way. For example, if you have a student who is studying marketing, for example, and then he thinks, I want to do something more with my life, I want to go to Indonesia and I want to do volunteer work. I really want to work with children, for example. But he doesn't have any knowledge about how to treat the children, how if there occurs a problem, how to help the children in the right way.
Because their major is marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that person doesn't know anything about handling children, especially in Indonesia with a different language, with a different culture. So that's why we find from Think Volunteer, we find it important to provide courses about the culture and all the important stuff when it comes to working with vulnerable target groups.
So who teach the culture? You?
Yeah, we make videos of local people in Indonesia. We make a video of a guy in Sumatra. We make a video of people in Bali. We make video of people in Java. And then we gather them. We edit all the videos. It's really hard work. And then we make one combination video about, for example, the culture. And then we choose the most interesting parts they tell about the culture. We put it together. So, because the local people know the culture the best, yeah? I know a bit of the Indonesian culture, but not as much as you guys, for example.
Yes, of course. Local humor.
Yeah, you are the professionals when it comes to the culture. And that's why we want to use the professionals in this country to tell about this country, like that.
I want to tell the audience in Indonesia because maybe some of them cannot speak in English.
Oh yeah.
Jadi teman-teman, tadi Ruben sudah bercerita tentang jadi dia berada di dalam sebuah lembaga bernama Think Volunteer. Jadi ada dua main project di Think Volunteer itu. Yang pertama adalah ada dua proyek. Yang pertama tadi dengan anak-anak, bagaimana biar anak-anak itu bisa bersekolah kembali. Jadi mereka membuat fundraising ya, monthly fundraising untuk anak-anak itu. Lalu yang kedua bekerja sama dengan lembaga atau NGO yang bergerak di bidang binatang itu, memelihara binatang atau konservasi ya, seperti itu. Jadi itu. Lalu yang kedua adalah berhubungan dengan volunteer karena banyak orang Belanda. Is it only from Netherlands or Europe?
Europe
ya.
For all travelers.
Oh, for all travelers. Jadi membuat membuat inilah wadah gitu bagi traveler, bagi orang-orang yang dari Europe itu yang ingin menjadi volunteer di Indonesia karena banyak sekali yang ingin menjadi volunteer tapi mereka tidak tahu bagaimana sih Indonesia itu, bagaimana culture-nya, orang-orangnya, lalu bagaimana cara maybe living in Indonesia, tidak tahu. Jadi Think Volunteer memprovide itu ya. Jadi membuat semacam course sebelum mereka menjadi volunteer semacam itu.
Benar,
you understand what Indonesia right? Okay, Ruben. How long have you been in Think Volunteers?
Think Volunteer, I think 3 years now.
Since 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah. Because I'm already in Mitra Wacana in 2019, and it has been 3 years too.
Yeah.
So, yep. So, by the way, that is your goal because you like volunteer because you are from social worker.
Yeah.
Is that only the reason?
No. The second reason is also because I work with children myself here. I teach them English and I organize like sports day and everything for my sports day, like that we can play futsal together something like that. And then I also within Dream House when I did my internship, I went to different places in Yogyakarta when we teach the children. Yeah. So it was the rural places where they where
nearby the river.
Nearby the rivers. Indeed.
Kali
Sorry.
Chode River.
I don't know
kind
that
of river.
Okay, I don't know exactly the name, but I was in different places in Yogyakarta. Dream House gave me that opportunity to see all the different places, and then I saw, okay, if I really want to help here, I really have to know how I can help and what's the best way possible to help. And I was a bit shocked because I was never used to see things like that, how the people live there, the houses is not really safe when it starts raining really hard.
Let's say not appropriate.
Yeah. And then the children live there, and I think the environment is make me shocked. And
sad too.
And sad as well, yeah, of course. I thought a lot about it, and then from that one, the inner motivation came like, okay, I want to kind of protect them, together with my team from Think Volunteer, to protect them, especially from volunteers who don't know what to do, like that.
Oh yeah.
And if then volunteers come, we want to provide the courses to the volunteer to make them the best volunteer they can be, and then to stimulate the positive impact and the sustainable impact, because the volunteer come and go again. They stay here for 3, 4, 5 months maybe, and then they make a connection with the kids, and then they go again, and then it's bye-bye, and they see, and the kids see the volunteer never again. And but we want to make sure the time the volunteer is in Indonesia, we want to make sure they are the best version of themselves, the volunteers, so they can help the children or any other target groups in the best way possible.
So actually you want to help, but it will be easier if we help together.
Yeah.
So you cannot help them by yourself, so you invite more volunteers to do like volunteers like you did.
Yeah, as well, that one as well. So for example, also we provide also coaching for the volunteers who come here. So during their stay we coach them, and then the goal of the coaching is we talk about how does the volunteer feel, is everything going well, are there things you're struggling with, and if there are things which he or she is struggling with, then we want to improve the person so that he feels better and try to find a solution for the struggling. If something's going well, we want to say, oh, that's going really good, so we want to see more behavior like that. So we also provide coaching to make them their effort even better than
unsafe in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, that was so good. I think. How long you guys do coaching for the volunteers before they do the volunteering?
So we in front before they do volunteering, we provide the courses like a workshop. And when they start, we do one coaching session. In the middle, one coaching session, and in the end.
Okay, like Ariana too.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I will explain to the audience. Jadi tadi saya bertanya ke Ruben. Jadi kayak kenapa sih ingin ingin membangun tim volunteer, atau apa sih sebenarnya goalsnya itu? Jadi tadi adalah dari alasan pribadinya karena dia sendiri suka volunteering, ya kan? You understand? Yeah. I'm kind of shy because you understand what I'm saying.
Don't be shy.
Jadi karena Ruben ini suka volunteering dan dia ingin memprovide anak-anak atau orang-orang yang ingin volunteering ini memiliki pengetahuan yang baik tentang volunteer yang ada di Indonesia. Jadi bukan sembarang ingin membantu, ingin menjadi volunteer, ya udah langsung aja, tetapi sebelum mereka menjadi volunteer, they think volunteer, make sure that the volunteer memastikan kalau misalnya volunteer itu punya pengetahuan yang jelas, yang cukup, yang bisa menjadi bekal mereka selama menjadi volunteer di Indonesia. Dan tim volunteer ini nanti menaungi mereka dan juga tetap memonitoring mereka. Ada di awal, ada coaching di awal, ada juga di tengah dan juga di akhir. Nah, I wanna ask you about the coaching.
Yeah.
in the first, maybe you introduce the first coaching, maybe you introduction, you introduce the culture and something. What about the second coaching? What is it about?
No, the coaching is always about the volunteer self. So the workshop, the courses are about the culture and everything, social work and stuff like that. But the coaching is always, the main focus is the volunteer itself. So basically it's like that. And then if the volunteer has questions in the beginning, they say, for example, they work for a project and they say, the language barrier is really hard for me, I cannot talk with the kids and everything. Then we talk about how we can find solutions together. That's the goal of coaching. Also, the other goal of coaching is to make the volunteer a better volunteer. For example, they are far from their home, they live in the Netherlands and they come to Indonesia and they are far from home, far from the family, and then maybe they become homesick. And if a volunteer is homesick and feels sad every day, then the volunteer cannot help in the best way possible, because he or she is not feeling well. But if we talk about that topic about homesickness in coaching, we try to find solutions. And hopefully the volunteer can find somewhere in her or his heart the power to become more strong when it comes to being homesick. And if she surpasses that, then eventually the volunteer will feel more happy here in Indonesia, and also he or she can help in a better way in Indonesia. So the main focus on coaching is the volunteer itself.
So things volunteer become like mother and father, like motivate them, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in the end we want to help the volunteer, of course, but the most important thing is that the volunteer can help the project the best way possible.
Okay,
like that. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to motivate them, or it's easy for you?
That depends on the person. Most of the time it's easy because they also are willing to do something good for the projects. And so that helps a lot. So they have an inner motivation themselves as well.
Yeah, nice. Okay, because actually I only know that thing volunteer in Indonesia. Is it only in Indonesia or no? Because I saw in your Instagram, maybe not only Indonesia, like Thailand or something.
At this moment we have only Indonesia, because the main project, like the fundraising project we have, and the courses project. The fundraising is called Think Charity, by the way, and the other one is called Think Volunteer Academy. It's kind of an academy with the courses. But first we want to focus on Indonesia because we are the most familiar with Indonesia, and we lived here before and we traveled here. So it's easier to start with Indonesia. But the end goal is to go to other countries as well. Like you said, like for example Thailand, or maybe even Africa. Or
what about India is worse?
India maybe, or South America.
Yeah.
But that are really big goals for in the future. First Indonesia.
Jadi sekarang saya tadi tanya ke Ruben untuk proyeknya sementara ini masih ada di Indonesia, tapi tidak juga menutup kemungkinan kalau suatu saat nanti, let's say bigger plan-nya atau plan jangka panjangnya itu akan merambah ke negara-negara lain seperti Thailand, South America ya.
South America, Afrika, semoga.
Selatan, Afrika, India, dan masih banyak lagi negara-negara yang lainnya.
Semoga.
Oke, untuk sesi pertama mungkin sampai sini dulu. Nanti kita lanjutkan di sesi kedua.
Beberapa mural ataupun painting gitu yang dikerjakan dari beberapa penggiat Mitra Wacana dan volunteer. Kami berharap banyak orang yang lewat di sini dan ini menjadi pemantik apa sih gambar-gambar yang ada di Mitra Wacana. Ini menggambarkan semacam banyak perempuan di Indonesia yang menjadi korban kekerasan, tidak mampu untuk berbicara, tidak tahu caranya untuk speak up. Ini yang sebelah sini gitu. Ini memberikan pesan bahwa laki-laki dan perempuan itu setara. Perempuan bisa bekerja di luar rumah, di pabrik, bekerja di lembaga, bekerja di pemerintahan, mungkin di politik, boleh silahkan. Sedangkan laki-laki juga bisa membantu di sektor domestik, memasak, mencuci, menyapu, itu bisa dikerjakan secara bersama-sama. Gambar yang dibuat Mara, volunteer, ini motivasi kita bisa melakukannya. Artinya berharap semua perempuan ini juga berdaya gitu, mampu. Yang sebelah sini gambar soal keprihatinan Mitra Wacana terhadap lingkungan, terutama hutan kita yang semakin berkurang, ditebangi untuk perkebunan. Krisis agraria ini di beberapa daerah di Indonesia, termasuk di Kalimantan ataupun di daerah lainnya. Nah, dengan gambar sederhana ini kita ingin mengkampanyekan kepada masyarakat sekeliling kantor Mitra Wacana bahwa ada problem, ada masalah yang kita hadapi. Saya Muazim dari penggiat Mitra Wacana untuk program pencegahan perdagangan orang di Kabupaten Kulon Progo.
Ya, terima kasih Mas Robi. Jadi tadi kita kan sudah ngobrol-ngobrol dengan Ruben tentang apa saja yang dia kerjakan di tim volunteer dan juga proyek-proyeknya tim volunteer dengan para volunteernya. Jadi sekarang saya ingin bertanya kepada Ruben tentang the challenging time, atau kemungkinan besar pasti ada hal-hal yang menyulitkan Ruben dan tim di dalam tim volunteer kan. Nah, maybe Ruben, you can tell me or maybe tell us what is the challenging time you face with the volunteers with you.
Yeah, so I think the most challenging is when a volunteer comes to Indonesia, and the biggest reason of the volunteer coming to Indonesia is that the volunteer want to see Indonesia only and to travel and go to the beach and go party in Bali, for example, and they are not motivated enough to help the project. If there's no motivation, then it's really hard for us to motivate the volunteer like that. And also the challenging part is when there is too less communication. If, for example, because we always say communication is key. If, for example, a volunteer works with the project, but he or she doesn't let us know how he or she is feeling or how he or she is doing at the project, then we cannot help also. So there needs to be initiative from the volunteer self as well to talk about problems. If they can talk to us about problems, then it makes it much easier to create a solution. But if they don't talk, we don't know, and we cannot create a solution. So that's also a hard part. And for the third, maybe when working with local organizations, the hard part is, for example, that local organizations change their teams, that they have different staff, and then we don't know about it, and then we cannot help them anymore by providing volunteers. So back again, that's also a communication issue. Yeah, and that makes it hard. Yeah, so we always say communication is key. If we communicate enough, then we can work in a good way. But if we don't communicate enough, then we cannot work in a good way.
So about the volunteer who actually come Indonesia only for traveling and something, I mean, like, how come they become volunteer? They want to become volunteer but actually not really volunteer, something like that.
Yeah. the main interest of the person going to Indonesia is the traveling, the partying, the beach, the nice country. Because Indonesia is very beautiful, of course. Indonesia has a lot to offer, and so we understand that they want to see the beauty of Indonesia.
You don't want to see the sadness of Indonesia.
Yeah, maybe something like that. And they, but most of the time they are motivated to be sure about it. So the most volunteers are really motivated to help here.
Yep.
But if not, then it makes it hard for us to.
Then how you overcome it?
Sorry?
How do you overcome it? I mean, like when it's happened, do you reach him or her first?
Yeah. When I see something like that, then I will also involve the project. So we sit bertiga with the three of us, and then we have the volunteer, the project owner, or and me, for example, and we talk about how it's going. And if I think it's really not going good, and I don't see potential anymore that it's going well later, then I will stop the process. Then he or she is not allowed to volunteer anymore.
Okay, in Think Volunteer, but in another place it's okay.
No, in at the local project.
Oh, in a local project.
Yeah, local project.
Yep. Okay, so yeah. Okay, thank you, Ruben, and then okay. I think I wanna ask you about your story. Maybe good story and also sad story as you work in Think Volunteer, or maybe as you become the volunteer in Indonesia.
Okay, so my father is from Indonesia, and because of that I was already interested in the country Indonesia. So during my study,
how long have you stayed in Indonesia? Or only your father from Indonesia and you born in
I'm born in the Netherlands. Yeah. I'm born in the Netherlands. And my father was 3 years old when he went to the Netherlands. So he grew up in the Netherlands most of his life. But then, because of the affection with Indonesia, I was really intrigued to come here to Indonesia to also see wonderful Indonesia. And then because of my study, I had the opportunity to do an internship here in Indonesia. So I did a half-year internship in Sumatra and half-year in Jogja. And when in Jogja I was almost finished, then Mitra asked me to help Think Volunteer. And
so
I was
extended in Jogja.
I went home first. I finished my study, my research and everything. And then I came back to Jogja to help Think Volunteer. And since then, I was really happy to help Mitra and Think Volunteer, because I already see how the people live here, how we can help them, and I also see the potential of Think Volunteer itself, their mission, their vision, and so that's why I became a board member. Most of it is like a good. What was the question again before? Like
sad or good story?
Yeah, sad or good. Most of it is a good story. I'm really happy to work for Think Volunteer. The sad part is that because our goals are quite big, we really need to work hard to achieve the goals, and that it takes quite long to achieve the goals. That's kind of sad, because your motivation gets lower. And then when I think about the Indonesian people who need help from volunteers, then I get the inner motivation again. So yeah, a bit like that.
So guys, you really have a really big and good motivation to help Indonesian, because sometimes
hopefully
will not get help. You know what I mean, right? The Indonesian itself.
Yeah.
They don't want to get help sometimes. It feels like.
If we only work with projects who want to have help from volunteers, and we need to think about what kind of help the project needs and how we can help them by sending volunteers, for example, to put their effort to make the things better there.
Okay, but you always work together with the NGO.
Yeah.
I mean like there are a lot of poverty and also rural area in Yogyakarta. I mean like you always work together with the NGO, not make the school.
I can give a couple of names where we work together with. Mitra Wacana, of course. Yayasan Rumah Impian. Project Child Indonesia.
Project what?
Project Child Indonesia. Child Indonesia, ya. BRC Jogja. What more? Social projects. Animal Friends Jogja. The Tal Time, that's a school.
Quite a lot,
but also in Sumatra, also in Bali. So quite a lot, yeah.
Oh, so that's why you go to Sumatra and sometimes Bali, because you guys also work with the NGO in that place.
Yeah. Most of it we can do online, so I don't necessarily need to go there, but sometimes we go there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, maybe the last question.
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Because we already talked about what is your last hope for this excellent movement? Your movement, I mean like team volunteer movement with the interns, team volunteer and also NGO, maybe organization in Indonesia.
My biggest hope is that we finish the Think Volunteer Academy by July next year. So we have all the videos of people in Indonesia talking about important stuff here, and we combine everything and we make an academy of that one. And that's my biggest hope, and so that we can start providing it to volunteers or travelers or students, so that they can become a better volunteer from September, let's say like that, and then that everything is an online platform. That's my biggest.
How many students do you have?
That
who
depends.
Want to become the volunteer?
It depends. The platform is for everyone, also for travelers, because we also provide courses about sustainability, for example, about how to travel sustainable, and we give tips and advices, and we also make video of local people who tell about the ocean, about the beaches, about keep the environment clean, stuff like that. And so the platform is for all travelers, and but also volunteers, and hopefully with this platform we can make the volunteer a little bit better, so that they can create a bigger impact, which is also sustainable.
Okay, thank you Ruben.
Yeah, thank you too.
Jadi seperti itu tadi, lupa belum mentranslate. Jadi kita tadi bertanya ke Ruben tentang kesulitan dia tentang bagaimana memanage volunteer yang ada di Indonesia, dan juga beberapa NGO atau organisasi yang bekerja sama dengan Think Volunteer. Tadi ada banyak sekali ya, ada yang di Jogja, ada WRC, Mitra Wacana, terus Rumah Child Indonesia, what's that house?
Yayasan Rumah Impian.
Iya, Yayasan Rumah Impian, dan banyak juga di luar Jawa, Sumatera misalnya, Bali, Lombok belum. Oke, kayak gitu. Terus tadi harapannya Ruben adalah bahwa sekarang dia ini sedang meng-create video ya. Video tentang culture di Indonesia dari local people. Dari local people yang harapannya dengan video ini bisa membuat volunteer yang akan datang ini menjadi lebih baik dan membuat a bigger impact, atau impact yang lebih besar untuk Indonesia dan juga society dan sustain. Ya. Terima kasih, mungkin sampai di sini aja. Terima kasih juga Ruben sudah mau datang. Semoga bahasa Indonesia jadinya ya. Semoga Think Volunteer makin keren, terus proyeknya berjalan lancar juga. Volunteernya oke. And
semoga.
Thank you. Amin.
Semoga, ya.
Amin. Oke. Udah Mas Robi.
Thank you.